Morena staff, happy level 3. Look, I trust you all had a great weekend and particularly celebrating Anzac weekend. Obviously a little bit different, but really impressed at the engagement of our community in that. And if you haven't already had a chance to do so, just have a look at the video that Dave and the prefects have put together just as a commemoration of that proud tradition we have as a school. So a good memoir there, and thanks to Dave and the team for putting that together. Fantastic. Hey, week 3, here we go. So looking forward again to the challenge we have in distance learning. And as we did this last week, just want to share again with you the information we received from you regarding your feedback, so staff feedback. So just having a little look at how we got on last week. And here's the data. Obviously pleased to see a few more staff having 7+ weeks this week, 7 out of 10, but a little bit concerned obviously that there's some lower end there that looking forward to follow up and connect with those staff, make sure they're safe and well in that space, because we want to make sure that everybody is fit and well and succeeding in this new space. In terms of engagement, so slight increase there in terms of our junior student engagement, up 7%. So look, that's pleasing, but a little bit of work to do there, particularly with our low-end classes still seeing a lack of engagement in that space. So we're going to be doing some work behind the scenes to try and remedy that one. Seniors slightly up as well, which is pleasing. So good to see that over 3/4 of our senior boys are engaged in their learning. And thanks to your efforts there to providing that information for them too. Really good improvement in terms of the Google Meet. So we're about 75% last time. We're up over 90%. So good to see a number of you now using that tool and encouraging you to do that. So once, ideally twice a week, if you're connecting with your classes, particularly the senior classes on Google Meets, I know that's really helpful and continues to provide an important space for them to grow and learn. Question this week just around your, gauge on students' well-being and their welfare. So this is really just more a hunch or an opportunity for you to raise any concerns with your students. We're going to do a survey of them later this week, but this is a really good, heads up from you as the professionals and you as staff who are already engaging with our young men. So look, over half are pretty happy with how things are tracking, but there's some concerns starting to emerge there. And look, we'll be in touch. So Tom and the student support team will be in touch just to connect and see if there's any young men that we need to do some more follow up with in terms of their well-being and welfare. So really appreciate your feedback there. Barriers. So once again, our biggest barrier sits around our young men and their lack of engagement. So we hear that, and look, I guess we can only control what we can control. So look, don't stress out too much about that. We can only do what we can do. So we've deployed a number of Chromebooks last week again to bridge the gap in that space, and we're also following up Wi-Fi connections for our boys. So look, aiming to get as many of them engaged, and then looking to get hard copies out to those students. Obviously, that's a difficult one too, because if they're in hard copy world, we have no kind of gauge except a phone call or a follow-up. And look, I know that's time consuming, but that's something we'll continue to do over the next week or two, just to keep working hard on those students who are lacking engagement. Home distractions slightly up this week. So understand that as well, particularly if you've got kids in the house who have now started school as well. I know that there will be increased pressures around that as well. Just some professional development. So most of you look like you're okay, which is great. And there's a few of you there just wanting a bit more support around Google Classroom and some other. So Christine and the professional development or learning team will be in touch with you just to follow that up and give you the support you require. Just comments and feedback. So always appreciate this. Gives us a good kind of lens or good opportunity for you to express your concerns. I guess the main concern that raised this week is more around the mixed student engagement. So, look, some really positive feedback, really, really awesome engagement from some of your classes, then obviously not so from others. And that mixture is creating a little bit of concern, a little bit of worry in staff in terms of those who are disconnected. So well done for, I guess, that pastoral care element. And again, as I reiterated earlier, you don't stress out about that. In this climate and this new landscape of teaching, look, there is going to be mixed student engagement for a number of reasons. So you keep doing what you can do, and obviously send through your concerns, and we'll follow those up the best we can. But that's where things are at, and again, appreciate your feedback on that. Just in terms of workload was the other, I guess, main comment that came through. So some finding, obviously, that the need to follow up students, respond to emails, you're making those phone calls. It's more of a one-on-one space. And you'll know even in a traditional learning environment, when you're doing more one-on-one, it is more taxing. And obviously this remote learning lends itself to that more one-on-one kind of space. So look, encourage you just to manage that. We've talked a lot about you looking after yourself, and you need to do that. So just pace yourself in that. We're not asking you to ring the 70 kids you can't get a hold of necessarily. You can share that load a little bit with our student support team and obviously the senior leadership team. We're all here, so don't feel like you have to take that workload on yourself. Obviously, really good you're following up your kids, but just balance that with your own well-being at this time as well. Look, 6 to 8 hours a day is all you need to be doing with all the other things going on in your life. So if you can plot away at that level, that would be great. Just bearing in mind that our kids, our students also, they're struggling with this change as well. So bear in mind that some of our boys now are also, and we'll get some further information from them later in the week, are also struggling with the new expectations around remote learning. Having to read emails, having to follow up or navigate through work on their own. So go easy on yourselves, team. This is all new for us. Just keep doing the best that you can in regard to that. The last, I guess, bit of information that came through was just around communication. Emails now become a massive part of what we do, and I'm not sure about you, but I'm sure that your inbox now is flooded with info. So you'll be getting info from a number of people, staff and students. So look, we have to manage that to the best of our ability. If you haven't got some filters on and you haven't got management systems in your email space, then I strongly encourage you to take some time to do that. That's going to help you wade through that information more effectively and quickly. But just remember also for our young men, they're getting emails now from us as well. That's our main source of information, and I know some of them are struggling in that space as well. So just bear in mind when you're flicking off emails left, right, and centre, you're filling someone else's inbox. So just think about that. And we've talked about less being more and keeping things simple. So just make sure that we're following that protocol, please. Again, those are the main concerns. Really appreciate that feedback, and we'll work hard on trying to remedy those things for this week. Just in terms of expectations, we've made it clear that home is the place you're meant to be if you can be, and that message is for our students as well in level 3. So we're encouraging you to work from home. I'm at home this morning, and we'll head into work soon just to connect with the support staff and make preparations for tomorrow. Our support team will cover those students. Again, indicated that there were 4 young men who wanted to come in and get that support. That could grow or be less depending on how things pan out, but that's where we're at the moment. In terms of your work, look, we're encouraging you to stay home. Understand that for some of you, you might want to come into school and work quietly and independently in your classroom, and more than happy for you to do that. Just need you to register that with Peter Ray, please, and obviously to make sure that you are exercising safe social distancing. Okay, that's it from me. You guys have an awesome day and a fantastic week. And once again, can't wait to catch up with you in person. Take care, everyone.